Hey there, folks. Welcome back. So, this episode is a bit of an impromptu one. It's just while I was doing some troubleshooting with the project after the last episode, I did notice there was something that wasn't working properly, and that was our door. It wasn't actually being saved properly, and as a result of that, it wasn't being loaded properly. So, we're going to work on that quickly this episode just to get things sorted out there. So, just a little bit of background before we go through. So, we're looking at our door base class here. It's derived from TF actor, and if we go look at TF actor, it includes the iSave interface. And apparently, it's still doing its parsing of everything. Because apparently, fgood isn't valid. With that, though, we'll just let this continue parsing quickly. I thought I'd left this run long enough. But part of the reason why is we don't have all of the save interface fully defined. If we look into tfactor source file, you can see we just have the very basics. We're not actually returning any save data, anything like that. So there's no actor transform or anything like that. Stuff is getting reset back to its or like to the origin of 00. So what we're going to do here actually is go into these header files. We're going to just copy these three here, and this is the header for TF actor. We're going to go into the door base header, and we're going to copy those, and we're just going to do override on the end of all three of these. And okay, just because part of my workflow process, we do need IntelliSense not to be throwing all these errors, I'm actually just going to pause the video here quickly, and once IntelliSense is finished parsing everything, I will be back. Alright, so it finished doing all of its parsing and everything. Parsing that was affecting the project. Set actor good implementation. Doesn't override base class. Okay, we don't need the override there. So we're just going to quickly create these definitions. And then populate the data. So we want to return a save actor ID. Save ID? What do we call it? TF actor base. Oh, that's why it is a private one. So this is why, again, I like to go through and have things properly laid out. Let's get these cleaned up. Get rid of these comments. Just because it makes things work. New property visible anywhere, and apparently I didn't wait for this to finish loading. Blueprint read only. We don't need this, and I want to put a private tag up here. Save ID. Okay, so we're going to go back to our door, return save ID, and if save ID is valid, save ID dot invalidate, save ID equals new GUID, and then f save actor ret dot actor transform equals this get actor transform ret dot actor class equals, it's not a function, this get class. Now most of this we'd actually be able to do. Actually, we don't even need to do this here. So let me fix that. Well, I'll just finish it off here and copy and paste it. So we don't need to do byte data. Right now we have no components, and was spawned. We can, I'm just going to default this to false for now. However, we're going to add a variable for that. So With that, because we're not doing anything specific for the door, we can actually do this back here in TF-Actor. So I'm just going to do that. And then we need to add a bool was spawned, or actually B was spawned equals false. And then that equals this B was spawned. And return ret. Alright, so get actor save implementation. Alright, that's fine there. We can get rid of this one. Let's add that to TF-Actor as well. We already did, and we already did. Okay, so we can actually clean these up. We don't need the save interface functions within the door. The reason why it wasn't working is we hadn't actually defined anything here. And we can remove these from the header file for the door as well. Now we do have this brain's not working. This variable here, which we are storing, and it should be part of the save game. So this should serialize when we run through that. And we'll debug step through the save game logic in the game instance. Really annoying how these constantly say you can't include core minimal, no such file exists, all of this, but to qualify on the function, it's because none of this is compiling properly. So close out the door. Do we need to close out this? Actually, I want to add in a U function blueprint native event void update from save. Actually, no, we'll leave that for now. So what the whole purpose behind this was going to be is when we load the game. So actually, let's go to our save actor interface here a second. No, I don't want to rename it. So it would be get component, again, set component. Actually, yes, so that is what we want to do here. It's a function that we never added. We're going to add that in now of get actor ID, set actor ID, get save data, get component data. Okay, so it's in here. So we're going to copy this for the U function and void update from save. Now, do we want to... No. Void update from save implementation. Now we need to grab this, and we're going to need to go through and add this to our header file, just so it has the definition. And then we're going to need to add that to a couple of different places in the code. So the first place we're going to want to add that is to our TF-Actor. And actually what we're going to do here in the save interface, we're going to call the default update from save. So if it's not implemented at a code level, we're going to push it through to a blueprint function. Now we're going to expand that. And we're going to just do update from save again. So the reason why we're doing this in both the save interface and the TF-Actor implementation of it is simply because in here we're probably going to expand this further on. Non-blueprint logic goes here. So the reason for this is there's certain things that work a lot better in blueprints than they do at a code level. And that'll be things like opening the door, stuff like that. it's because everything's defined with that timeline, it's a lot easier to just also do that in blueprints as well than it is to try and do it at a code level. So what we are going to do now is from save. It's the game instance we need to expand here. So I'm just going to close out of all these. This is the other reason why I do recommend you keep your files and folders as organized and as clutter-free as possible. You don't have all the stuff open there. So let's open up our game instance source file. And then what we're going to do is go to our load function. No, not set player data, load game. So in here, we're going through, and just to cover this again quickly, this is our spawned actor information. We're just chucking him into the world. That's all we're doing there. Now down here, when we're actually going through and applying the save data, and then right here, we want to go enter.update from save, and this is going to throw that error we've seen in a previous episode because we're not calling execute. So what we actually want to do here, I'm going to leave that there for reference for now. Enter.execute update from save, and then we're going to get rid of that one. And in here we want to pass in, as we found in the previous episode, a reference to actor. So, and then just make sure we don't have, I suppose that one didn't throw an error. Anyways, so we are going to build this quickly. Now let's see, this may take a little while because I was in a couple other projects in the time being. So I will pause the video here and I will be back once the build is done. Alright folks, that build's finished, so let's launch into the editor. And this should hopefully not take too long. I was going to do this before I restarted the video, but honestly, I forgot. And because I forgot, it's deciding it's going to take a while. So I'm going to pause the video again real quick, and I'll be back once the editor is open. Alright folks, we're back and the editor is launched now. So with the editor running though, one thing we do need to do quickly is hop back over to Visual Studio and add some additional breakpoints. We don't need the player data, we know that's working. So we're going to throw a breakpoint in just here. The reason being for this is right after we have validated the GUID. We know the player doesn't have a valid GUID, but the door should. So we're also going to do the same thing down in the load game. It's going the wrong way. Factor. We're going to throw it in. Actually, we'll do it. Leave it right there. So back into the editor, we're going to click play. Going to just move our character over so we know that we're loading and saving properly. Stand here. Actually, I'm going to face the door. We're going to hit 7 to save the game. Okay, BP door base, we can see is the actor we're loading. So get save actor data. We can see we've got our location rotation, was spawned false. Right now we can see the byte data is empty. We're going to just serialize. I'm going to take a quick look at that byte data again. Don't potentially see. I hate how that doesn't actually show you anything. And this is just going to go through all our components, so we're going to just drop through to there, take a quick look. Hopefully one of those is that value component. Yep, all that looks good. So we're gonna just drop it there, and what are we in? Gather player data. Oh, we don't need that information, so we're gonna continue from that. So we're back in the game now, and we'll just move over to the other side. We'll face the door, and we're gonna hit F9. Okay, we are on the door base. Take a quick look at the information. We have the actor transform, the byte data. Does look like there might be a problem there, but we're going to go through. That just could be because it's been serialized, so we're going to deserialize, and then I'm going to step into. Do not. We didn't. Oh, we're calling the. Yeah, but now you can see the door is still there. Previously, when I was doing this, the door would actually disappear because it moved to the 00 origin. And we're going to hit save again. This time I'm just going to... Actually, no, we want that. Let's take a look. Does that... Nothing. Oh, we want to wait till the serialize. Now let's take a quick look. Okay, now B is open is there. So let's continue. Okay, now let's see. We'll move over here. Actually, I'm going to close the door, and then we will load, and we'll see if that state changes. So close the door. Actually, it won't because we didn't do any of the blueprint levels. So we'll hit F9. It's going to continue. Continue. Update from save. That's probably because we're calling it at a code level. But yeah, we didn't do anything there. So let's stop. And let's actually fix that missing function that I forgot to add in there. So we're going to open up our door base blueprint. And it opened up on a different screen. Let's pull this over here. So go to our event graph, interfaces, and update from save. B is open. Is open. Git is open. Branch. Now you have two different ways you could do this. You could, if you wanted to, go to your timeline and reuse that. However, if we open this up quickly, we know it's either 0 or 110. So if it's open, go back to the event graph. We're just going to copy this, paste that. Actually, we don't even need the branch. So we're going to do this. We're going to go select, float, move this in here. So if it is open, we want this to be 110. And if it's not open, we want it to be 0. And we're going to connect that. Compile and save. Now let's try this again. Now we should be able to just load. And we're going to get that error again because we're calling a function that we shouldn't be. I'll fix that in a second. But there you go. You can see it opened the state of the door. So now that we've done that, let's just make sure everything is saved. It does say all saved, but I do like to just click that to make sure. The other thing you can do, obviously, is file, save everything. Apparently my editor's being really slow. Save all, or use your standard Control-Shift-Fs. So now we've done that, we're just going to close out of the editor because we don't need that open. And we're going to fix this mistake we have in here. So close out of the map. We don't need this. We don't need the generated. So what that is going to be is more than likely, actually I want to leave that comment, this little section right here. Execute, update from save. And pass in this. And we're going to just comment that out. And actually, I'm going to do a Control F, find all in current project, and just make sure. So this is another way you can go through. So we've got that commented out. Do that. I'm going to leave that one there. I don't think that is the error. And then that's that. So let's do a quick build, and we're going to try again on this, and we'll just see if that fixes that error message. So build really quick, because all we did was make that one line code and change, and the editor should launch very quickly this time because we were just in it. Yeah, it's already at 80%. So all right, there we go. And we are literally just going to hit play. And again, because we're using those GUIDs, we are not using a GUID on the player character, or and it's a static one that's already there on the door. We should be able to just hit F9, and we load everything in. And you notice there was no error this time. So let's try that again. F9. Oh. That should have been stored as open. So let's, or did we save with it closed? So hit F9. Oh, it's not happening. So let's go F7. Continue that. F9, that's staying open. Okay, so let's close it. And F9, just 9, and then 9. Okay, so that worked. Might be something to do with the save. So let's drop out. Let's run again. Pressing 9. It open. Well, that might have just been a quirk because we made that change. So with that though, this is going to be a shorter episode. I just wanted to get that one. I don't want to call it a fix. It was really more we missed something in the last episode to get the interaction system there correctly hooked into our save game. So that's it for this episode, folks. I know in the last episode I said I wasn't sure what was going to be the next episode. I'm still not 100% sure on what is going to be the next main focus. I did actually end up throwing up a poll on the channel, but we're still early in the channel's life. Don't have many subscribers, so I'm not expecting much there. I did put my personal preference as a vote, which is the inventory system. However, I will respect whatever the final vote is once I get around to recording the next main episode. I think I'm actually going to record probably a couple more of these sort of little one-off episodes, because there's a few other things I'd like to do, and then we'll go from there. But anyways, folks, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.